had a guy come up, and we were the largest Boston Whaler dealer in the world for many, many years.
Boston Whaler boats?
Boston Whaler boats. And a guy came up into the shop, and he says, listen, he says, Bob, he says, and he knew who I was and everything, so he says, I got 7 kids, and I want to rent a ski boat. And I said, well, first of all, don't ever tell anybody you got seven kids you want to rent anything. You're going to wear it out, and they're not going to rent it to you. So, well, how did I do this? I said, well, you buy that boat right over there. And I just taken a twin catamaran, and with 2 35 horsepower Johnsons on it, and I'd taken it on trade. And he says, well, how good a boat is that? I says, it's a $1,700 boat. I says, it's a good starter for you. So he says, okay, I'll take it. And so I sold him all kinds of water skis and wetsuits and tow ropes and anchors, rope chains, just outfitted the whole boat. So as he's driving out of the driveway, he says, what's the guarantee on this boat? He yelled out, and I says, 30 days. If you don't like it in 30 days, bring it back, I'll give you your money. And that's the way my shop works. And we give your money back if you don't like something. And so 28 days later, he drove up into the driveway, and he'd run that thing into every pier and breakwater from Santa Barbara to San Diego. And he says, I want my money back. And the motor, one of the motors had blown up. And I says, okay, hang on just a minute. And I remember his name. And I went out and I wrote him out a check for $1,700 plus license and freight and tax, license and registration and tax. And I handed it to him. He says, is this check good? And I said, I've never wrote a bad check in my life. And he says, I can't believe this. He says, I just did this to see what the look on your face was been, and you kind of smiled about it, went out and wrote me a check, and I said thank you when I gave him the check. Thank you for doing business, because he bought some other stuff from him. He says, I can't believe you're going to give me my money back. We doggone near destroyed that boat. We don't know how to drive it, but we do now. And he says, now take this $1,700 and put it in on a $7,500 boat. We want a good one, and we know how to drive them now. And so he became a customer and stayed a customer all these years.